Here's a question for you. Do you really know what your business is earning? Like after all the hidden costs? Because here's what I see all the time. Sales look really strong, revenue is climbing, but when you dig a little bit deeper into what's actually left over, there's not as much as what you expected. And that's why you can be working really hard, selling more, and not feeling very wealthy. Okay, so today I'm going to show you exactly how to work out what your business is really earning. Okay, so stick with me. And if you haven't met me before, hi, I'm Paula Day. I'm a profit coach and I help business owners get clear on their money, plan their cash flow, and keep more profit. Okay, so if you're new here, welcome. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Also hit that little bell notification so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you the next step. So head over to my profile and make sure that you watch the pinned video in there. And that's where I'll share my full training on how to create profit clarity in your business. So once you finish this video, go ahead and watch that one. Okay. So here's the problem. Revenue doesn't tell you what you're really earning. Okay. So when sales increase, so do your costs. You might need more staff. You might need more supplies. You might need more systems. You might need a bigger space. Sometimes you need more of your own time as well. You might need more of something, okay? And all of that more costs more money. So while the top line number is getting bigger, so the sales number is getting bigger, what you're actually keeping doesn't always match up, okay? So that's why you need to go beyond the revenue, beyond what the sales are, what that sales number is, and really look at the true profit, right? So that's the money which is left over after everything else is covered. Okay, so let's do this in a step-by-step process. Okay, so step one, we're going to start with your total revenue. So your revenue is simply your sales, so coming into your business. So this might be from services that you provide. It might be products that you sell. It might be both. It might be, for some of you, it might be just one core service. For others, it might be you might have multiple income streams, multiple services, multiple products that you sell with those services. And all of it together is your total revenue. So your total sales coming into your business. This is the number that most people really celebrate. You know, online you say, oh, I hit this number. This is my sales, right? But it's only a starting point, okay? So I just want you to know what that number is, okay? So get a piece of paper or like find, grab a spreadsheet, use one of mine. If you reach out, if you haven't got one, let me know because I have one I can give you for free, and pop in your sales number, okay? So we need to know that. Step two, all I want you to do is start to take away all your direct costs. So, your direct costs is what does it cost you to deliver those services or products? So it could be wages, they're direct to that product or service, right? It could be treatment supplies. It could be a particular product that goes in a machine that the machine is used to deliver the service, whatever it may be. Like you might have some direct costs. You might not have many direct costs, but you may have some, okay? And so this is often called the cost of goods sold. So if you write down what are those direct costs direct for you delivering that service. So when you subtract all of those from your sales figure, from that first figure, what's left over, that's your gross profit, right? That's telling us how much we've got before all the other business expenses, okay? So step three, we're going to look at getting rid of all of the operating expenses from this figure now. Okay, so now we're going to look at what it costs to operate your business, all right? So these are all the other costs of running your business. So your rent, your admin, you might have people costs, you might have marketing costs, you might have software that you might have insurance, you might have electricity, you might have professional fees, you might have all sorts of subscriptions and even your wages, all of that. Okay. So this is where a lot of hidden costs can creep in. So think about subscriptions that you might not use. This could be cutting into your margin, or you could be overspending in some areas. You could be hiring staff who are not really being used to their full capacity. You could be hiring the wrong people. These small things tend to add up as well. Okay, so and all of these things will reduce the amount that you get left over at the end, which is called your profit. Okay, so step 4, we want to account for your tax and your owner pay. So you're going to have to pay tax to the tax person, like regardless. We can't skip that step, and it should never be something that's a surprise. Okay, so if you have to pay tax, you're in a space where you need to pay tax. Like here in Australia, we pay GST, we pay tax as well, like on our earnings. So we need to make sure that we set aside that tax. All right, so let's account for the tax. So if we take away what we expect the tax to be, and we make sure we've accounted for our own pay as well. And now if you're paying yourself properly, if you're not, if you're actually paying yourself a wage, you might also, depending on where you're located, have to pay yourself some superannuation, or like that's our retirement fund here. Right, so we're making sure that we look after all of those things. Now you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot, Paula. This is overloading me. But I just want you to take it quite slowly and quite, you don't have to cover everything, but let's just look through removing all of those operating types costs, right? Now, once you've got all of those taken away, you know what you're left with? You're left with your profit. And that's what the business is really earning after everything is covered. Okay. So when you know what that true profit is, then you can finally make some smarter decisions, because you can afford to hire, or you can't afford to hire, or you can afford to make that expansion, or it makes sense to, or it doesn't, or it's safe to reinvest, or it's not. Right? You actually have more clarity once you know what that figure is, and all the little bits that go into it. You start to look at all of those little bits. It's kind of like, when you're even running, your household. Like if you're running a household, like first, when you first get a house and you first move out, you sort of like, you have no idea about bills, and you have no idea about how much things cost, because you're probably living with your parents and up until that point. Then you move out, and then you have to pay for all the bills, and you have to pay for all the food and all the things, and you start to realize, oh, all of this costs money. And so you have to allocate your money in certain ways to be able to afford the things that you want to afford. So if you want to afford a holiday and you don't have enough money, you might need to allocate your money in different places, or have a cheaper house to rent, or not spend so much on food and eating out. So we need to allocate our money, and we're doing the same here in our business. Okay, it's the same concept. And if you haven't sort of got the hang of that personally yet, that's okay. It's just bringing that same concept into your business. Okay. So here's a little recap. Revenue is your starting point. So your sales are your starting point, not the finish line. Okay. So that's where you see what you're really earning. So you take your revenue, you subtract all your costs, and you get your profit. Okay. So the action for you is to just have a look, even have a look at your last month or your last quarter, run the numbers. Even if it's feeling uncomfortable, it's better just to know the truth. And it's just the first step to really building real wealth in your business. It's just to know these numbers. Okay. So if this video was really helpful, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. It means so much to me, because I'm producing these videos now weekly, and I would love to hear from you. And I'd really love to hear which topics are resonating, so I can do more of those for you. And the next step, absolutely go over to my profile, watch the pinned video, because that's where I'll walk you through my full training on how to create profit clarity step by step. Thanks for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.